How about this scenario?
Okay.
Threesome. Your mom or dad calls and you go answer it because that's what you do.
I would never do that in a
Yes,
threesome.
you would.
Not in a threesome.
You totally have before. In normal sex. Not in a threesome, which we've never had.
All right, look. So today we're going to be talking about the definition of cheating, I guess is probably the best way to put it. Like, we're going to define what is cheating in our personal relationship, like what do we classify as cheating, but also we're going to talk about cheating in general. Like,
yeah, definitely guys and girls, we're in an age where you have to define it for your partner or there's going to be misunderstandings.
Yeah, and
unfortunately,
we've had to come to like an agreement of where we stand, and I think
an agreement of our own.
And I think that you have something that I think you think differently than I do, or you think I think one way and I really don't. So it's going to be interesting to see how that goes. And I'm gonna let you kick off that conversation. But first, people are stupid. Also, welcome to our brand new. Sorry. I'll go back to that. But welcome to our brand new podcast. It's called All Right Look. It's with me and the wife. If you guys are already subscribed and watching this on YouTube, it's the same channel. Like I said, we're the same people. It's the same set even, just a new name, and you get our feet. And then if you're listening to it, literally nothing has changed. Besides you're listening to it on a new podcast. It's still me. Braxton might come in every once in a while, but it's going to be me and my wife talking about life and funny stuff that we go through and marriage and yeah, so if you're not subscribed, what are you doing? Just hit the like button, just hit the follow button, just hit the subscribe button. It's easy, it's free, and if you don't, I'll hunt you down. I'll kill you. Let's get it. Anyway, so yeah, let's talk about stupid people.
Where are you going with this?
We just got back from Kings Island. We're actually filming this at like 11:30 at night. And when I tell you, driving in Ohio.
Oh, that was your main issue with today?
Oh dear God, well, just people in general, but so many people, and it's just I don't understand like how so many people can get in your way all at once. I don't get it.
I think there are a lot of smart people out there. I think the majority of the people in the world would consider themselves and could be counted as intelligent people. Right. But my God, when they don't have to, they get lazy. Man. And they don't try to use any brain power at all.
It's like willpower to me.
Clearly, my brain power is slipping at this hour of the day.
I mean, it is almost midnight. But yeah, I can't deal with people sometimes. It's like the level of stupidity that I experience. It's just like, I want to just hit you with my truck.
He has never hit anybody with a truck.
Oh my gosh. And then so we were on this ride at Kings Island. It's called the Bat. And there's this parent and these two kids in line in front of us.
Oh my goodness.
And she was sitting there she couldn't have been more than 7, 6.
Who, the kid?
The girl.
Yeah, probably.
Probably 6 or 7. And she was like, there was people in front of us, and she was like looking back at them. They were not together. But she was saying like, I'm going to punch your teeth out. And I was like, homie, mom, grab your kid. And then she started throwing hands. Like she was punching him and trying to kick him. And then she was hissing at him and trying to hit him with her doll. And I was like... Dude,
he took it in great stride.
He did. He really did. That guy, I'm not blaming him. But, parents, stupid. Freaking stupid. I just want to be I want to walk up to her, the mom, and just grab her by the face and go, why are you being so stupid?
Well, do we know that they weren't both their moms?
That's true. I don't know.
Because the one girl took the kid to the bathroom.
Yeah, one of them should have stopped the thing that was happening is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
One of them should have stopped the situation from happening. And it did.
Well, the mom that looked more like the two kids seemed really checked out.
Oh my gosh. Completely ignored everything that was happening.
The second mom was definitely doing more parenting, but it still wasn't
if they were both the mom.
policing this.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was. Anyway, at the end of the day, it was stupid and annoying. But let's get into the actual reason you're here is the cheating thing. So I don't know how do you want to start this? Where do you want to start it?
Well, there's not a whole lot for me to say because I think my thinking about what cheating is pretty much the conventionally accepted definition.
Okay, let's start with what you think I think cheating is, because I think that's kind of what we started on. We try to avoid it. So what do you think I think cheating is?
I think that you think cheating is anything that where any kind of physical act happens as a result of an emotional connection.
Okay. So elaborate on that a little bit. So like what? So
I think if you were ever to hook up with someone in a bar,
yeah,
you wouldn't consider that cheating because you would never ever leave me for someone in a bar.
Okay.
And you would never continue any kind of relationship whatsoever with that person from the bar, you know?
This is true, but okay, so and this is what I was going to say. So I do agree with that on a foundation standpoint, like from where you kind of sprout out from that. I do agree with that to a degree. But the part where I'm going to disagree with that is where if you're talking about cheating and you have an agreement with your partner. So like, for instance, a lot of open relationships, like if you agreed that was the situation, that if you're tempted in a bar, handle it, make sure you're safe, make sure you're clean, don't bring that shit home, and you're not going to leave me for her, so whatever, fuck it. That's different if you agree to it. If you don't know about it and it's behind your back and like they're sneaking around, that's where it's fucked up, and that's cheating.
So we clearly haven't had this conversation in a few years.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, your definition has definitely evolved.
Yeah, it's the
further we went into our relationship.
It's a little more defined.
Yeah.
Because our agreement is obviously don't cheat on me. Don't do the traditional understanding of it for most people, which is if you sleep with another person, actually if you get intimate with another person, that's cheating. But now, what is cheating? So like what level? So like where's the line drawn? It's like if you do something that is cheating.
It's all cheating, but I think varying degrees of it could result in different reactions and consequences.
So okay, let's talk about this.
For sure.
Let's go over like the different levels of cheating, I guess. So what about like texting, and you're kind of flirting over through text?
That to me kind of feels like, I feel like if texting is brought into it, it's only a matter of time before it progresses. It's just playing with fire.
Right. So is that cheating?
It would cause issues, but it wouldn't end a relationship.
So like if you were to catch me doing that shit,
I'd be like, you better cut it the hell out.
But it's not cheating in your eyes.
It's not okay.
It's like you were flirting. You need to stop it because I don't think you'd probably be more like, do you know that you're doing this? Like,
yeah, I mean, I'd give you a chance to resolve it.
Right.
But no, I'm not just going to be okay with it.
Can't just be texting other girls and all that shit.
Yeah, no.
Okay, so what about watching porn?
No. I mean, it's a fantasy. You're never going to reach into the screen and get intimate.
Well, there's a lot of girls out there that would disagree. So there's a lot of girls and guys that disagree. It's like, well, if you watch porn, you're thinking about another girl or
there
a guy.
Are so many worse things out there, and what is the point, honestly, in trying to stop a guy from watching porn?
I mean, we watch porn together. Like, I think it kind of adds to it to a degree. Like, I don't know. I learned a lot of stuff from like watching and being like,
I think that where porn enters the equation is kind of, I think you tend to get more jealous than I do.
No,
when it comes to, because
I'm not jealous of it.
I think you think that I watch porn as an alternative for a healthy sex life. And while I don't agree, I never see it that way ever.
I don't think that's it. I don't get jealous. Like, I don't care. I think
you just don't want it to influence our sex life.
Correct.
And I'm just like, if you want to watch porn, fine. I'm not gonna get weird about it.
It only bothers me. I'm not jealous of it, but it only bothers me when you do it, and then I want to be intimate with you later, but you're not in the mood anymore because you already handled it, and that's where I'm like I would have been home like really like in a couple hours. Like, why couldn't you know? So that's kind of the place where it becomes like a. Well, shit, like that's annoying. I'm not jealous of it. Like, I'm not mad at you for watching porn. It's just more like, God dang
it inconveniences you more than it tends to inconvenience me. How about
yeah,
that?
because I just go again. Like, I'm just like, give me an hour.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I'm not like 5 minutes after, but give me an hour. Give me an hour of protein shake and a banana. I'm going right back in. But okay, so porn not cheating. Texting is cheating, but you get redemption potentially. Okay, what about like hanging out with a girl or a guy by yourself?
That's kind of just like, why? What are you getting from that?
Okay.
Yeah, that's problematic.
Okay.
Again, resolvable, but it's a little bit further down the consequence road.
Okay. What about kissing?
No.
Is that cheating?
Yeah.
Like, at that point, it's like there's no gray line. It's like, nope, that's right across the.
I mean, yes.
The line is a dot to you at that point, right?
Yeah.
Because you've crossed it. You've become. What if someone walks up to you and kisses you?
No. I mean, depends on how prompt you are in resolving it.
So, like, somebody walks up to you, kisses you, and you kind of kiss back for a second. You're like, wait, whoa, and you push off.
Well, I mean, it depends on who's witnessing it. So
just say you're at a bar. Let's say.
Am I witnessing this though?
Let's say it happens to you and I'm witnessing it. I would probably consider that cheating, or vice versa. You see it happen to me, and I kiss back.
Well, see, here's the thing: you would punch anybody, no matter how quickly I pushed him away.
Yeah, I wouldn't punch him, but I'd definitely grab him, whoever it was, and I'd throw him back.
It's so
like,
wait,
what the
so
are you doing?
He kissed me. I immediately push him away. You punch him, and then I get punished.
No, I don't think that's cheating. I think that's.
You just said you thought it was.
I don't think it is though. If you kiss back and it's like a makeout session, then I'm like, all right, that's cheating. That's fucked. But if you're just like, if you push away and like I take care of it, like that's. I don't think that's cheating.
Well, we've just kind of entered a new thought.
Okay. Like what? Or about what?
What if someone at a bar kisses you and it turns into a makeout session, but there's no intent to hook up?
That's still cheating.
But there's no time for any kind of emotional connection. And
right.
you have no intention of, hooking up.
Okay, so you're there, you see me making out with a girl. There's no intention of hooking up, right? Because you're right there with me. What would you do?
We'll see. Here's the thing.
We're brothers at Ball State.
I think that makes it hard because there's no way to prove what the intent was.
I know exactly what you'd fucking do.
Okay, so is it then different if it wasn't witnessed? So let's say, honey, I made out with a chick at a bar. Obviously, it didn't go anywhere beyond that.
Right.
I give you credit because I know that I wasn't about to witness you. You stopped it.
Okay. So I stopped it. I made out with a girl at a bar. I stopped it. And you're not mad.
I think there would be more leniency than like if you just like, let's say you worked in an office and one of your coworkers you just had like a quick old kiss.
Okay.
In the in the break room. I'd probably be more upset about that.
A quick kiss with a coworker in the break room versus a stranger at a bar.
Yeah. Like a quick kiss versus a makeout session with a stranger. I'd probably be more upset about the coworker.
But it's still cheating. All of it's cheating. Or is the bar thing not cheating?
I think that's a less severe level. I think it is.
Okay.
But like I said, the punishment has to fit the crime, kind of.
So what's the punishment?
I don't know. Probably deep conversations about it.
So, but to you...
A little bit of trust building again.
But to you, that's not cheating.
It's cheating, but I don't know that I'd end a relationship over a makeout session that you ended before it progressed.
Okay, so putting it in our situation, putting it into our marriage, if that were to happen.
I just said it.
That's how it would actually...
Yeah, like we would have to talk it. Trust would have to be rebuilt a little, but I don't think that I would end a marriage over that.
That'd be pretty hard for me if you did that.
Well, see, you are definitely more macho.
I'm more jealous when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Well,
sure.
see, and you even used to say, like, based on your definition of cheating versus mine, you thought you could cheat, but you would never let me get away with that, you know?
I didn't think I could cheat. That wasn't like, it wasn't a thing like, oh, I think I can cheat. I think that like...
You thought that if you were to hook up with a stranger who meant nothing to you... You could do that.
Yeah, because it wouldn't affect me emotionally towards you.
But if I went and I did that same definition and everything, you would still end our marriage over it.
I wouldn't end a marriage necessarily, but I know how you handle relationships. And whether it would, maybe you could go and do that, it would affect ours. Because you would feel guilty, you would feel emotionally disconnected, and because that's how you operate in a relationship, and that's why it could never work. You could never do that. And
that's still not fair. You would hold yourself to a different standard than me.
Because I know myself, and I also know you. And
that's my biggest issue.
I know how we'd work differently. Like I know how our brains work. Like. I can disconnect it, and I know you can, but once you did that thing and then came back into it, you would be emotionally disconnected from me a little bit, or it would just eat you alive in the inside. But also, would you tell me? That's the other part? If you did it, like would the guilt eat you? Would the guilt eat you enough to where you'd have to tell me, or would you try to keep it a secret, or would you just be scared I'll find out anyway? Because I pretty much can figure out everything and anything.
I don't know. I feel like I'd try to keep it a secret, but it would blow up in my face.
Horribly. What about me? Would you want me to tell you? The swallow that happens right before you speak. So if I were to, would you want to know, or would you want to live in this like blissful ignorance where it's like, because we've talked about this, where it's like you think that I have. We're getting deep, yeah, guys. This is the very first episode of All Right Look.
I don't think you have. I think life is very, very long, and to assume it will never happen in our entire marriage is foolish. Given his history.
Okay, thanks.
I'm just hopeful, optimistic, and I've told him I don't want to know. Don't ever do it again with the same person if it happens.
That's the rule.
Don't give me a disease.
Right.
And dear God, don't let me ever find out.
So,
dear God,
so
do not.
You said life is long. So do you think that you have it in you to cheat on me?
Possibly. But you knew I thought that too.
Really? No.
Life is long, dude.
Right, but like, what would be the reason that you would cheat on me? Like, what would that?
I have no idea. We haven't gotten there.
No, but like, what do you think in your head, looking at yourself? and looking into yourself, what do you think the reason would be?
The most likely reason will probably have nothing to do with anything you've ever done.
Or am currently doing.
Yeah. I don't know.
So it's like, it's nothing that I could prevent. It's nothing that I could help prevent. Do something differently or...
I don't think so.
Like, you wouldn't come to me first and be like, here's how I'm feeling. Because usually cheating happens because, like, they're not being fulfilled in some way, or they like somebody else. And at that point, like, if you like somebody else and you cheat, like, that's a relationship breaker.
Yeah.
So it's like...
I can't see that being the reason, though.
You can't see what being the reason?
I can't see liking someone ever being the reason.
Right. So what would have to be the reason?
Dude, honestly, I think it'll just be out of boredom, if it ever comes to that.
I mean, I keep your life pretty interesting. I'm pretty sporadic. Maybe not in such a good way sometimes, but I'm pretty crazy most of the time. Yeah, I think I know because we've had this conversation before that I know that you think that I have or will. And yeah, I think you just don't want to know. Like, it's one of those things like...
I mean, I would love to be called to the great beyond and told by some omnipotent being that you never did. But I mean, and that'd be cool. That would be cool. I'd be pretty proud of you, but I mean, there will be wrath. I don't want to know, but I obviously don't want it to affect our relationship at any point.
What?
So, like, I don't want you to wreck our relationship in an effort to keep it a secret.
Oh, yeah, of course. But how could you salvage it at that point? You know what I mean? Like, given my past, which if you guys are curious about that, there's plenty of episodes on it, but you can ask and we'll talk about it with her here because she's part of it. And get her perspective, which could actually be nice. But no, so so given my past, if that did happen, right? Like, what is the alternative? Like, how can you salvage it, I guess? Or how would you try to salvage it? Would you not? Like,
I don't know.
I know we're going there. It would have to
depend on what the situation was.
Like, okay, do you want me to, like, just make up a scenario and see how you'd react?
Sure.
Okay. I'll give you two scenarios and then you can react to both differently. Okay. So, because there's typically one of two ways that I feel like most people, if they cheat, it happens one of two ways. So the first one is the guy is not getting what he wants out of the bedroom, right? So let's say you and I'm not getting what I need for some reason. That you always do a great job, by the way, just so you guys know. But for some reason, I'm not getting what I need, and it's starting to affect our relationship because not only are you kind of frustrated with how things are going, I'm frustrated with my life, and then I'm also sexually frustrated at the same time. And so I go out to a bar one night, and there's a girl there, and she's into me, and so we do the thing, and I come back, I'm good, clean, whatever, nothing, no disease or anything. And then you find a receipt for the bar, and it was like way too many drinks for just me, and it's shit that I wouldn't order. And so you confront me, and I tell you, yeah, I did, or whatever. This happened. I tell you the story of what happened. And I'm just like straight up honest with you. Tell you exactly what happened. Tell you why it happened. Why I did what I did. Would you try to salvage that, or would you just be like,
well,
fuck it?
Is this the only time it's ever happened?
This is the first time that. Wait, would you ask if it's happened before, or would you be like?
Yeah, I would ask.
So you'd be like, oh, has this happened before?
Yeah.
Okay. And if I just said no, it's the first time. Like, it happened once.
Is it the truth though?
In this scenario?
Yes.
I don't know. You said I'm giving you one scenario first.
Okay, in this scenario, do you mean it? Is it the truth? Did it only happen once? Yes or no,
Okay,
dude?
so yes, but you'd still be unsure. That's why I'm like, you'd always think that it's a lie, even though I'm telling you the truth.
It doesn't matter. Just answer the
Okay,
question.
yes, yeah, I'm telling you the truth.
Then did you get her number?
No,
You don't plan to ever see her again.
no.
We're going to therapy.
Okay, so you'd try to work on it.
I don't know. I don't know how long it would remain like couples counseling versus it may progress into like a sex therapist for you. I may push that issue.
Like a sex addiction kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. For happening one time, okay.
Well, we're nipping it in the bud.
Okay.
Or the
Fair.
marriage is over. Because
Okay,
if it's not nipped in the bud,
yeah, that's fair.
I would rather just cease.
Okay, so scenario number 2. It's same kind of situation, but it was a girl that friended me on some kind of app.
Nope. You made a choice. That is a choice.
Oh, I still wasn't done. So,
fine.
Friended me on
Continue.
an app. The conversation for the most part was like, what's the word? Conversation for the most part was platonic. That's Jesus. I couldn't think of it.
Okay, but again, that goes back to texting with a girl. Why the hell are you texting with a girl? You don't need to be making new female friends that I'm not aware of.
Once again, just going with the scenario here. Okay, so she says, "Hey, you want to hang out?" I'm like, "Well, I'm not gonna hang out with you in private, like, but we can go grab a drink or something sometime." So that happens. Things go down. Same kind of receipt kind of thing, or you see a text or a DM or whatever, and then you approach it. I try to lie and play it off, and then
All the whammies.
so it's like I'm trying to think of every red flag you could possibly do, and then
You're making it too easy to just say, get out.
I say I would go over like the same exact reasons why I still made that choice. Like whatever I was not getting or whatever I felt like why I need to do what I did. And then I would say like in that scenario, it'll never happen again. I'm willing to do counseling or whatever we need to do. I know I made a mistake. Blah 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 blah. Your response to that scenario.
Knowing that everything that you have screwed up in the time we've known each other is a direct result of impulse control.
Okay.
If, like, this is probably at least 2 weeks of buildup here.
Right.
And the decisions were made repeatedly to not stop it.
Okay.
Then I think I would try therapy, but I don't think it would work in the end.
Okay. That's fair. That's absolutely fair.
Especially because you've got the texting involved.
Yeah.
You didn't make a decision.
Right.
You personally tend to come to me with everything, every little development. So the absence of that means that it's probably further along than any other scenario that we've ever encountered.
Okay.
And you didn't bring it to me.
Yeah.
It's just, there's too many things that are unlike your typical behavior.
Fair. Okay, I have one more mystery scenario, and then you can give me your scenarios, and I'll tell you how I'd respond. Okay, so third and final mystery scenario, we have 2 kids. One's 12, one's 8. Right?
Okay.
And you find out somehow, I don't know how you find out, but you find out that I hooked up with this one random girl one time. I didn't tell you. Right. And it was like a year ago at this point. So, but you somehow, through the grapevine, you figure it out. You approach me, and I tell you, yes, it did. You would probably ask, like, well, is this the first time it happened? Because that's typically what you'd ask. And then I say, yes. And then you go, well, how many times? And then it's like, well, it's blah, 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 blah. And it's like, the total time is like 6 to 7 people. Right? but it always came at a time where it was like the excuse would, I think, okay, this scenario, I'm going to make it, the excuse would be, I didn't want to overstress you because you were already under a lot of pressure with whatever you're doing at your job. And I knew that putting more pressure on you would make it worse. So instead of doing that, I went and handled it and came back and took care of my business the way I needed to, and also provide and take care of you. And then always made sure it was safe, always made sure it was clean. One time only, never happened again. Never got the number, just hooked up, took care of my business, and then came back and took care of you and the kids. And now there's kids involved, and that's why I want to see your response, because would it be the same? Would it change? And it's also more people. So like instead of a one-off as the previous two scenarios, now there's multiple people involved over the course of 6 to 7 years. So how would you handle that scenario?
I hope you don't enjoy spending time with your kids.
Okay.
Those are numerous bad judgments calls. And theoretically, you've told me that when kids are involved, you would always be more in tune with your impulse control.
Wait, what? That confused me.
If there's kids involved, you're not going to be making as many stupid little young man mistakes.
Right. Okay.
Like you've already always told me, you've tried to grow up quite a bit the last few years. You are more mature than even your age.
That's true.
You feel like kids will mature you even more.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So, I mean, that many errors in judgment compounded over years, despite there being children in the picture, that's just a personality.
Right. So kids wouldn't affect that decision at all. You'd still be a divorce.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Your turn. And then we can move on to something else.
Am I supposed to think of actual scenarios that could potentially plague this?
No, just think of a scenario and how I'd react.
Okay. I really want to be realistic.
You can be realistic.
I'm trying to think then. What could happen?
But also, like, don't make it too realistic to where you start fantasizing about it, because that'd be weird.
I'm going to fantasize about you, like, beating someone to a bloody pulp.
Oh, yeah, that probably will happen. Anyway, go
Dude,
ahead.
I can't imagine it just because I care about the safety of people involved.
Anyway, give me a scenario. I'll tell you how I'd react.
Okay, let's say it's a girls' night out.
Okay.
The girls I go out with have gotten lame and gone home.
Okay.
I can't imagine staying at a bar by myself.
You wouldn't,
but okay.
But okay.
They're like, oh, we want to go home. I go, oh, okay. And this guy at the next table goes, oh, I'll take her home. She clearly wants to stay. And make out in the alley, and I go home.
Oh, you make out in the alley. That's it, and you go home?
Yeah. And yes, I tell you.
Okay, so as soon as you get home, you tell me.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel bad about it?
Yeah. I don't think I would tell you if I didn't.
Yeah, there'd be a lot of trust, but I wouldn't leave you over it. Like, there'd be a lot of trust broken down because you know my past. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that'd be like a big, okay, yeah.
Well, that's the most frustrating thing about
it.
This.
It is cheating, but it is cheating. And that's the thing. It is cheating because you chose to, and you made that choice. But it's also not,
But I hate the inequity of how you would treat a cheating situation, because you have had your 2 strikes already, and you wouldn't give me any strikes.
I just did. I just said you'd be fine. It'd be a lot of trust breakdown.
Not if I hooked up with them in the bathroom, though.
You hooked up with in the bathroom?
You wouldn't give me 2 strikes.
I might. But also, you know how that feels. So it's I feel like for you to go
So you
further in
get
that.
2 strikes though, just because no one's ever done it to you?
No, it's happened to me before. But I'm saying like you literally witnessed me do that to you. Like I cheated on you. Like that happened.
That's why I should get like 5 strikes.
You don't get 5 strikes because you know how it feels. So why then would you go and do the same thing to me?
Impulse.
Right, but that's still fucked because you know.
But if the reason for you wasn't even impulse, both the times you had no impulse at all. It was
one
thought
time
out.
I wasn't even freaking sober. I was blackout. And the first time was thought out, but briefly. Anyway, the point is that I would give you a bit. I didn't say I'd divorce you right away. I would really.
You have in the past said that.
It would take a lot of therapy. I would say that it would take a lot of therapy because I still love you. I still care about you. Like I wouldn't throw it all away because you made.
OG thinks that's convenient.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't throw it all away because you made one mistake. Excuse me. Like I would give you a chance. Now if it happened again, yeah, that'd be it. Like
I get 1 strike, guys.
no, yeah. You get 1 big strike, but I did 2. I got 1 big strike. The second one we could never verify, and we still can't. So, like, I got 1 big strike, and I came back and I realized the error of my ways and fixed it. So I don't know, like, but there is definitely a line, right? So it's when you go from kissing or whatever, it's like, oh, we can work through that. Like that's what texting. We can work through that porn. We can work through that. As soon as you cross into the bedroom, I think we can both agree that it's like, yeah, you're done. Right, because you've gone a step too far. Now, since we just talked about the second such scenario that we can't verify, let's talk about hooking up when you're blackout drunk. Is that cheating? Because you are not consciously aware of what's happening.
Obviously, if you're blackout drunk, who's witnessing this? You have to just hope for the best.
Yeah, let's just say you're hanging like
if you
either one of us were hanging out with some friends. It happened.
If you can't verify, I think that's your answer.
Actually, didn't that happen?
It can't.
Technically,
you can't count it if you can't verify.
If you can't verify it, it doesn't count. Or if your person is not consciously there. Like the easiest way to do that is try to have them tell you what happened that night before all that happened.
I mean, knowing you, it's more likely that it did.
Well, yeah.
You've got to take their personality into consideration because I really don't think most people do things drunk that they wouldn't sober.
No, alcohol changes actions, not intentions.
Alcohol changes nothing because your thoughts are your thoughts.
Right. Alcohol changes the actions, not the intentions. So if you get sober, if you get drunk and you're inebriated, you'll do something that you might not have done sober.
Yeah, but it didn't mean you didn't want to.
Right. The whole time. That's why I said it changes the action, not the intention.
All right. Say you never actually did the second time.
Okay.
Say, are you denying that this girl, who will be unnamed,
yep,
you weren't into her? You didn't want to while you were promised or whatever to me?
No. I thought she was attractive. Like, I mean, I found her attractive and she was cute, and she's nice, but no. I wasn't like, oh, I got to bone her. Like, I wasn't, I've got to bone her. Not, I've got to bone her.
I knew of this girl before this night happened, and he had been talking to her via Snapchat before and after. So it's very hard to imagine that you weren't like at least crushing.
Maybe crushing, but it wasn't like I don't know, it wasn't like a sexual thing for me. It really wasn't. Like, because she was friends with a friend of mine, and I found her nice, and she was cool to talk to. But like, I didn't like her like that.
That friend had a lot of female friends.
Yeah, that's actually true.
But no,
anyway,
she's the one you latched onto.
Right, but anyway, so like, but for you, like, what if you woke up next to a guy and you blacked out and it wasn't me? Like,
if I wake up next to a guy after blacking out drunk, there are many, many, many other issues at hand.
Right, but let's say it did happen. And
a
friend said
I would be more afraid about what I was drugged with than I would be what happened.
Well, no, let's just say it was blackout drunk. Like you just got drunk and you blacked out.
That has never happened in my life.
I know.
I would be very scared about what I did.
Right.
Overall.
Because you don't know.
Yeah.
Right. That's what blacking out is. That's why it's scary.
I've never done it before.
Right. So, but that's what I'm saying. So, like, I couldn't hold you accountable for that. Like, I can't, if you can't prove it. Like, or even if I can prove it, even if a guy was like, "Hey man, I slept with your girl, I'm sorry." Like, I still can't be mad at you. It wasn't, I'll beat the fuck out of him, but I won't be mad at you because you didn't know. Well, you essentially got raped is what happened.
Well, he probably did essentially get raped by me too.
If you're blackout, both of you.
Oh, so why would you beat the guy up?
Because if he was conscious and did it and knew about it, if he was blackout
there's
drunk,
no way to prove he was or wasn't.
If he walked up to me and said, "I did this," that means he knows he did it and remembers it, and that's like that's because you have a choice and you know that I'm married, you know that's my wife, and yet you did it anyway. Good night. That's just me. But yeah, so I don't know. Okay, interesting. So, but there are definitely, we are establishing as far as cheating goes. We're actually learning a lot about each other, but we're establishing that cheating, there's definitely, the punishment fits the crime a lot more severely once it crosses into the bedroom. Mm-hmm. Kissing and whatever is like, meh, but.
It's like a portal. You're like taking little tippy toes towards bad, depending on the level of your error. But like, yeah, once you get into the bedroom, you take a little hop to a portal, which zooms you way down here. It's like playing the game of Sorry and hitting the slide.
It's like, oh shit, I'm slippery.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, interesting. Okay, so now let's dive into another aspect of cheating, which is threesomes.
Well, that's all just agreement based.
Right. But is there, so let's say you and
it's like consent.
Right. So let's say you and I theoretically did a threesome, right?
And if there's consent, there's agreement.
Correct. But if let's say you're in the middle of it and you're like, no. Or I'm like, no, I'm not into this. Like, this isn't good. And let's say we're in a threesome and for some reason I'm like, no, I can't do this. Like, this isn't right. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm sorry. And I stop and you keep going with the third.
What?
Is that cheating? You previously gave consent and I gave consent previously as well.
I can't imagine you stopping and not kind of indicating what you want me to do.
Would you stop though?
I'd probably stop, yeah.
Yeah, but let's say you kept going. Is that cheating? Okay, fine. Make it easy.
I can't put myself in a
I know,
scenario where
because
you're
you
not
would
like,
just stop. Okay.
Ellen,
Okay.
come on.
Let's make it easier. Let's do it me, because for some reason you like throwing me in the hole. So.
Oh, how about this scenario?
Okay.
Threesome. Your mom or dad calls and you go answer it because that's what you do.
I would never do that in a threesome.
Yes, you would.
Not in a threesome.
You totally have before. In normal sex. Not in a threesome, which we've never had. That was really bad sounding.
Yeah, that was like, you just basically like admitted to a threesome, even though, yeah, she's right. We've never had a threesome. But no, so let's say that I keep going. You're the one that stops. And you're like, oh, I'm too nervous or whatever the reason is. I can't do this. And I keep going.
Yeah, no.
Is that cheating?
Yeah.
That's cheating. Even though you've previously agreed and given consent and the person involved is also like, yeah, let's do this.
Yeah, but again, I can't imagine not telling you, like, dude, like giving you an indication of what I expect you to do.
No, you would. But that's what I'm saying. If it continues, is that cheating?
Yeah.
Fair. Yeah. I would agree. I just didn't. I wanted to know. So, and for those of you that are watching / listening, let us know what you think. Once you give consent, can you revoke the consent? Is the third party allowed
Under
to continue
most
without
states' law, yeah.
Can you? Oh, you can revoke consent.
Yes.
Yeah. So is that something? But does that affect the third party? And can the third party
What's the third party gonna do?
Try to keep going?
Call us slutty bitches and
Try,
storm out?
Try to keep going is what the.
Then that's assault. Okay, thanks. Bye. I can't imagine someone trying to come back at us like we're both like stepping away and he or she is like, I'm not done. I'm not done. Get your pussy asses back in here and finish.
Oh my God. See, but Mama ain't raised no bitch. I would be like, come on, let's do this. Like I'm that guy. Like don't call me a bitch. Like I'll finish. But I don't know. I'm that guy.
Probably like jackhammer till they hurt, just to punish them.
Oh, I really would. Yeah, I'd be the motherfucker that'd be like, oh yeah, okay.
Revenge sex.
Yes. Yeah. Would you? I feel like
I'd be egging you on. I'd be like, yeah baby, kill her. I don't condone murder.
Oh my God. No. Just murder that pussy is what she said. Oh my God.
Don't let her want to come back.
Right. Yeah. Just I'll do it so hard. It's like, oh my God. Yeah.
Oh God, what if that's her kink?
What, making it bleed? Because it's just so, yeah.
I've heard of that before.
Wait, really?
Oh, there's some crazy kinks out there.
You read too many books.
I don't read books about kinks.
You read dirty books?
I read sweet, romantic.
Ooh, that's not cheating. I don't think that's cheating. It does piss me off when we're trying to be intimate and you're like, let me just finish this
that's
page.
That's where I got my assumption on porn. Like, it affects you more than it affects me.
That's the books do. Because it's like, bitch, I'm trying to have sex with you right now. Like, put the book away. Like, I know you're reading about John and the maid from next door, but like, leave me freaking, like, come on. Anyway, I'm fine. Is that actually a story?
No, but I would totally read that.
I know you would, and that's why I said it. And it's still, I hate that's accurate, and it's no. Okay, so what else can we add onto this?
I don't know. I think we've talked it to death.
I think murder and pussy, revenge sex. Where's the line between cheating and not cheating? Which I think we found it. It's like kissing. Anything further than that? Ooh, groping, kissing and groping, like making out and like grabbing ass and tits. Is that cheating?
Well, you're too snuggly, so I don't think that would play. I don't think that would affect how I handled anything. I don't think that's gonna add.
Are you just
severity
are you just
to
saying
it.
that I'm handsy? Is that what you're like?
Yeah,
alluding to?
I don't think that's gonna affect. Because you're not just groping and not doing anything else, you know?
Right. Yeah.
I don't think it's going to change the outcome, whether you are or aren't, so.
Cool. Fair enough. Anything that we should add about us? I don't think so.
Anything about what?
Anything that we should add about us?
Do you know enough? I feel like
I was like,
we've been open enough.
Like, that was a lot. That was a lot.
Quite a bit.
Did we? Was there something we wanted to add about the threesome thing? We were talking about it in the car on the way home, and I forgot what it was because we have talking points. Believe it or not, we're actually trying to be professional podcast people, the PPPs, professional podcast people.
No, I think the note that we wanted to address, we skimmed over and it never came up, and that's okay.
What was it?
It was like a disclaimer.
Oh, that we haven't had a threesome, that we're talking theoretically about it all.
Yeah, but I don't think that ever came up, so it didn't matter that it was left unsaid.
Right. Now, the way we act and the way our personalities are, could we ever have a threesome without it being cheating?
Again, life is long.
But would we consider it cheating? Or would we feel weird about it?
I can't imagine if we've gone that far that either one of us would be stopping.
Like, yeah, because we both...
It will have taken a lot of forethought and a lot of planning.
Yeah, because we both commit. That's the thing. Is like when we do something where it's like, we're going to do it. We'll talk about it afterwards, but it's going to happen. And I think once we're on the same page on something, it's kind of like, it doesn't matter at that point. Like,
well, yeah, and I think both of us are stubborn. So if one of us has agreed to do it, the other one is going to, even if they get uncomfortable, they're going to finish it out.
Yeah.
To be completely honest, we would probably both finish it out and find out later that we were both very uncomfortable and would have stopped.
Yeah. Be like, oh man, I kind of wanted to stop. Me too.
And then we'll both get irritable with each other. Like, you should have said something. I didn't want to finish it.
Yeah, that actually does
that's
sound
totally
100%
us.
like us. Once again, not saying we're having a threesome, just talking theoretically here. But that is something that, like, because people, I feel like that if you get involved in a threesome, like, if the party gets uncomfortable, they could consider that cheating. And that's something that you have to make, I guess, talk about. Like, communication is the biggest part.
Yeah,
about anything.
I mean, so like when the other person says, "Hey, I'm stopping. Stop now."
Yeah.
You listen. That's
Right.
communication.
And it's also consent. Consent is sexy.
Mm-hmm.
So no, but also communication is also important because everything we said is null and void if you have an agreement. I think is what we've established. If you both agree in a relationship that you can do certain things and certain restrictions and you have certain abilities to do, and that you have rules in place that,
not guidelines, rules.
Yeah, if you have rules that are put in place for your relationship that you can follow, then everything we just said doesn't matter. Like the cheating is relative.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what we're learning. Because our opinions are a little bit different, but we kind of
we have expectations of each other.
We have expectations of each other, and we agree on the same points, the big ones. And we have an agreement between us as far as like monogamy goes. Like that's us
to abide by the rules.
Correct, that we've set.
Yep.
But your rules can be different, and I think it's the cheating aspect of it is relative to the agreement between you and your partner, because it could be different for everyone. And if you guys would like to if you want to be open, it's fine. If not, it's cool. But if you want to be open, and put in the comments below your situation and see if there's any other arrangements out there that contradict ours, agree with ours, or maybe just a little bit different or completely different in a whole new kind of new age way. Let us know below. Like, let us know where you kind of stand. So for us, it's like, yeah, don't freaking cheat. Don't put yourself in a situation that would get you in trouble. Yours may be completely different. And so we'd like to hear that. Other than that, if you want to have a threesome, go have a threesome. Just make sure you talk about it first. I think that's it, honestly. I can't think of anything else.
Me too.
Yeah. So, all right, look. If you're going to go do something stupid, have a conversation about it. Don't do something stupid. And if you're doing it, and if anything you're doing in that kind of realm is emotionally charged, you shouldn't be in a relationship anyway.
Your partner can also almost always stop you.
It's true. Yeah. So, but if it's like I was saying, if it's emotionally charged, it doesn't matter. Like once you put emotions into it, it's already over. The relationship's over. Yeah. Like there's no coming back from that, because even if the partner is willing to work it out, you're emotionally somewhere else, and you can't. Yeah, you can't do that. So, anything else you'd like to add?
Nope.
You know the one thing we didn't talk about before the podcast?
Are you Irish goodbying me on a podcast?
Yes, I am. How are we going to end the podcast? Because we didn't. You like outros, I don't.
Look all right.
No, what? All right, look. So you want to do go look all right and go backwards?
Mm-hmm.
It's a cool tie.
No, we could do it like, you're doing good. You look happy. Look all right. I don't know. Something weird that kind of like matches with look all right.
Oh, also, I'm Aaron. This is Ellen. We should have done this like at the beginning, but you guys know us. It's fine. All right, look. And then we close it with...
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye. What about like...
that's Bailey. What's her face's outro.
Are we gonna do something like inspirational, like be your best self, Later.
I thought you don't want to be that kind of person.
I hate that kind of person. I hate those kind of people.
#blessed.
Shh. There's people that watch the podcast that say that. Well, I don't know. We're going to sit here for like 3 minutes and talk about... Okay, here's what we're going to do. Next week, we're going to have an outro decided. We're also going to talk about how we lost our baby, which is that's going to be a tough one because I've never actually opened up and communicated how I feel.
To me, either.
I've briefly talked about it with you. I just don't like getting into that kind of stuff, but I'm going to in the podcast. I'm going to open up.
An hour-long conversation. You better open up.
Yeah, I'm going to. It's fine. So, and you can ask questions too. So, and I'll ask you questions. It'll be great. So, but next week, we're going to have an outro prepared. We're going to figure it out. But for now, see you guys.
Okay, bye.
No, you can't say that. You just say bye. Don't say bye. Just say see ya or whatever.
See you later, alligators.
No, just say bye.
Bye.
Good job. See you guys.